Good day, folks. Welcome to the MB Wildman channel. On today's video, I just want to share with you a real quick setup of how I made my own fleshing beam here. I see a lot of posts on social media lately, a lot of questions being asked about how to make your own fleshing board. A lot of guys use PVC pipe, a lot of guys buy fleshing boards, whatever. There is no right or wrong. Elliot and I just want to show you what we use here. This is a homemade version that we've done. We really like it. It's very similar to the kind that you would attach to the wall and fold down and fold up out of the way. But this one here is mobile, so I can take it with me to the camp if I've got to, if I'm going to trap up there for a bit, or if I want to move it around my own space even, right? Because I don't always have the neatest workspace, and so having this attached to the wall in the space isn't always convenient. Listen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the Wildman channel, we sure would appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell so that you can be notified when we upload new content. That way you won't miss any videos that we film. And okay, so let me just show you. Can you hold that up? Let me just show you what this is and how it works. So I started out with about a 6 foot long piece of 2x10. Back when I built this, I couldn't really get a hold of a piece of hardwood, so I think this is actually just pine or spruce or something. It's just a normal 2x10 that we fashioned out. Today, if I was going to redo this, I would try to go ahead and get myself a piece of hardwood. But this started out as 2 inches thick, 10 inches wide, and 6 feet long. And then all I did with this main section was I laid a coyote board that I had purchased on it and then traced around it. So my fleshing beam is the exact same size as what I would typically stretch a coyote on a wood stretcher. Okay. Some of the benefits of this board are real simple. There's a hinge at the bottom right here. I don't know if you can see it or not in the video, but so the first benefit is this hinge right here, and these two blocks, along with just a regular old piece of wood. This is, again, a piece of 2x10, but it could be anything. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to stand, right? So when I drop this down into this notch and this notch, right? So that makes it pretty solid. And then I stand behind it and I lean on it with my apron on, and I'm allowed to flesh this way, okay? So this board right here and these notches will allow you to adjust the height. So if you want your, if you're shorter or taller, or you've got different people working the board, you can adjust the height based on either shortening up this or moving this block back and forth on your piece of plywood, okay? So the piece of plywood that I'm standing on is a full 8 feet, and it's 18 inches wide. The reason that I wanted this to be completely mounted on the plywood is so that it is mobile and I can fold it up and get out of the way. So if I was done for today, I would simply just drop this down like this and then stand it up out of the way, over the corner or wherever, and then it wouldn't be in the way, right? So sometimes we skin for a while and then flesh for a while. We don't always have the fleshing board out, okay? When you want to use it, you just drop it down, pick it up, put in your block of wood, like this, and you're good to go again. The other reason that I've made it longer, quite a bit longer than the board itself, is because the weight of you standing on it helps to keep it in place. So it can't slide away from you as you're working your fur. I flesh almost everything with a Wiebe two-handed flesher, right? So almost everything is like this for me, and I don't want my board sliding away from me. I don't want it solidly attached to the wall either, so therefore I've got my extended piece where the weight of me being on it helps to keep it in place. The length of this piece and the location of these little blocks will depend on you and your height. You want to stand up here, Elliot, for a second? So if you got Elliot and he's going to do some fleshing today for me, this is way too high for him, right? So what you can do is you can adjust this bottom block, right, so that it would be back like this, right, and butt up against there so that it would be at the right height for whatever Elliot needs to do. Or you can simply shorten up this stick, and it would come down like this more, in which case you'd have the right height for whoever's going to do the fleshing here, okay? So there's not a lot of sense in me telling you exactly how long all these pieces are, because each of you are a different height, and it'll have to match exactly what you want to do. But anyway, this is my version, again, of our homemade fleshing beam. This piece here, the main body of it, all I did after I cut the coyote shape was I just rounded it down with a wood rasp. So you can see that I started up here, where'd my tape go? Let's see. I started from the bottom up about 30 inches right here. And then I started to slowly just rasp it down and round it. And then when I got to the top, I left it square on the top. If you can see right here, I left it square on the top for a couple reasons. If you're doing something like a coyote or a fox where you can slip the head or the leg over that to hold it, it works really great. And then you can push your body weight against it and it holds it. If you're doing something like a beaver where you don't get that cased and you have to hold it, you can actually put a nail or a pin in the top of this to hold it in place and then flush down against it, right? I don't love doing beavers on these boards, but I have done them before. So we look at a coyote here. If you haven't yet seen the video on this baby right here, you should really check it out. I think it's called How to Drum Your Fur at Home or something. Anyway, it's on the channel and it shows you this this type of dust and stuff that I'm using. And it shows kind of how to turn something like that into what is that, a little cream separator? Into a great fur drum. So anyway, we take that out of there, and you can see as we slide it on here, right? So you're just going to slide the coyote down, and the square part here fits his nose just perfectly like that. So as it goes down, right? So there you're all set, and you can grab your flushing knife, right? Get your apron on if you want it. You can lean up against here, and you can start that flushing process down that way. Easy to do. You can spin them real easy. You know, turn them whatever you want to do, and work them down. So. Anyway, like I said, there is no right or wrong to making your own flushing board. I don't love the PVC pipe ones. I find them really slippery. I do like these. They're good and solid, and the cleanup is super easy. At the end of the season, I just take, once these dry a bit, once the fat and the grease is all off them, end of the season I take a piece of 80 grit sandpaper, give it a good rub over, takes all the nicks and burrs out of it, and then store it for the next season. So you're ready to go after that. If you have any questions, comments, or you want some exact dimensions on how to build one of these, you can go ahead and leave those in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you and share that with you. So anyway, I hope this helps you out. And until next time, from Elliot and I, happy hunting from the MB Wildman channel. Woo!